George, a boy born into poverty, the teacher with a look of disdain, stared at his tattered footwear. When George raised his hand to answer a question, the teacher rolled her eyes and shifted her gaze to a pair of pristine leather shoes. George couldn't quite understand, did being poor mean he didn't even have the right to answer questions? At lunchtime, while the other kids gathered around the table to enjoy their delicious meals, George, coming from a struggling family, found it hard to make ends meet. A single burger, split into 4 pieces, was all his family of 4 had to eat for the day. But for someone as tall and hungry as George, it was nowhere near enough. He joked that if he got really desperate, he could even eat the table in front of him. His little sister, worried that he wasn't getting enough to eat, tried to give George a small bite of her burger, but he refused. Every night, George's mom would remind him not to cause trouble at school. If they had to move again, they might not even be able to afford 1 burger a day. George would look down, trying his best not to stare as his classmates savored their delicious fried chicken, but he couldn't escape their mockery. One classmate threw a piece of chicken next to the trash can and told George to pick it up and eat it. Despite George's forbearance, the taunting didn't stop. Under the constant insults and pressure, George's anger finally erupted. He suddenly stood up and charged at the boy, who found himself on the ground in the blink of an eye. In the end, George was expelled from school. It wasn't the first time he had been kicked out for fighting. His mother, desperate to keep her children in school, was forced to move them from place to place. Poverty left them unable to pay rent, and the family of 4 had to cram into a dilapidated, abandoned shack where they faced only cold and hunger. George grew up in this environment, but through his own efforts, he ultimately became a remarkable man.